Alright, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC Statute 2021. OPEC Statute. OPEC Secretary, Organization of Petroleum Exportation Countries, Helfer Store Stratus, E17A 1010, Vienna, Austria, or OPEC.org. Contents: Chapter 1, Organization and Objectives. Chapter 2, Membership. Chapter 3, Organs. 1, the Conference. 2, the Board of Governors. 3, the Secretariat. Chapter 4, Consultative Meetings, Specialized Organs. Chapter 5, Financial Provisions. Chapter 6, Additional Provisions. And for amendments to the statute, please see pages 25 through 27. The original text of the organization statute was approved by conference in January 1961, Carcass Resolution 26. Chapter 1, Organization Objective. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, herein referred to as the organization created by the Permanent Intergovernmental Organization, conformity with the Resolution Conference of the Representative of the Governments of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, held in Baghdad, September 10th to 14th, 1960, shall carry out the functions in accordance with the provisions set forth hereunder. Article 2, the principal aim of the organization shall be with the coordination, unification, petroleum policy, member countries, and determination of the best means of safeguarding their interests individually and collectively. B, the organization shall devise ways, means to ensuring stabilization of prices in international oil markets with a view to eliminating harmful and unnecessary fluctuation. C, due regard shall be given at all times to the interests of producing nations and to the necessity of securing steady income producing countries and efficiency, economic regular supply of petroleum consuming nations as fair return on the capital to those investing in the petroleum industry. Article 3, the organization shall guide with the principle of sovereign equality of its member countries shall fulfill in the good faith the obligations assumed in their accordance with the statute. Article 4, if a result of the application of any decision, organization, sanctions applied directly, indirectly, with the interest of the company or companies against one or more member countries, no other member shall accept any offer the beneficial treatment whether in the form of the increasing oil exports or in an improvement in price which may be made to it by such interested companies or companies with the intention of discouraging the application of the decision of the organization. Article 5, the organization shall have the headquarters at the place of the conference decides upon. Article 6, English shall be the official language of the organization. Article 6A, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, is the property of the assets wherever located by whomsoever they're held shall enjoy immunity for every of the legal process except insofar as this particular case the Secretary General has expressly waived its immunity. It is, however, understood that no waiver of immunity shall extend without any measurement of the execution. The organization with the property assets of the organization were located in whomsoever held shall enjoy the immunity for search, requisition, conservation, expropriation, any other interference, whether by executive, administrative, judicial, legislative action, to the officials of OPEC represent the member of the country shall incorporate itself the privileges and immunities necessary with the independent exercise of the function in connection with the organization. 3, the organization of the petroleum exporting countries shall make provisions appropriate modes of settlement of A, disputes arising out of contracts, of the other disputes of private law character, which the organization is a party of. B, employment disputes between the organization and its staff members, which shall be settled with dispute resolution mechanisms that protect the rights of the staff members in accordance with the organization internal regulations. 4, the privilege immunities accorded with the host country with the member of the country's organization and its officials, and the representative of the member of the country shall be equivalent of the privilege immunity stipulated with the Convention of the Privileges and Immunities of Specialized Agencies approved by the General Assembly of the United Nations on 21st of November 1947. 5, of the privileges and immunities conferred under the present article are granted with the interest of the OPEC, but not with the personal benefit of the individual themselves. Chapter 2, Membership. Article 7. A founding member of the organization over the countries which represent the first Congress held with Baghdad with the time of the original agreement of establishment with the organization. B. With the full members shall be founder members as well as those of the country's application for the membership have been accepted by the Congress. See, any other companies or substantial for the export of the crude petroleum which have fundamentally similar interests to those of the member countries become the full member of the organization if accepted with a majority of 3/4 of the full members, including the concurrent vote of all the founding members. D. A net petroleum exporting country which does not qualify for the membership under paragraph C of the above, but nevertheless amended with the associate members by the conference under such for the special conditions as may be prescribed by the conference. If accepted with the majority of 3/4, including concurrent vote of the founding members, no country may be admitted with the associate membership if it does not fundamentally have the interests and aims similar to the member countries. E. Associate members may be invited to the conference to attend the meeting of the conference. The board of governors consult with the meetings and to participate with the deliberations without the right to vote, but they are, however, fully entitled to benefit from all general facilities of the Secretariat, including publications in libraries, as many as full member. F. Whenever the words member and member countries occur in the statute, they mean the full member of the organization unless context demonstrates to the contrary. Article 8. A. No member organization may withdraw from the membership without giving notice of the intention to do so to the conference. Such notice shall take effect at the beginning of the next calendar year after the date of its receipt by the conference, subject to the member having no time fulfilled with the financial obligations arising out of the membership. B. In the event of the country has ceased to be a member of the organization, readmission of the membership shall be made in accordance with Article 7, paragraph C. Chapter 3, Organs, Article 9, Organization shall have 3 organs, Conference of the Body of Governors, Secretary of the Conference. Article 10, Conference shall be supreme authority of the organization. Article 2 of the Conference shall consist of the delegations representing the member country. The delegation may consist of one or more delegates, as well as advisory observers. When the delegation consists of more than one person, appointing country shall nominate one person for the head of the delegation. B. Each member should be represented with all conferences have the quorum of 3/4 of the member country shall be necessary for the whole of the conference. C. Each full member country shall have one vote. All decisions of the conference over the procedural matters shall require the unanimous agreement of the full members. Conference resolution shall become effective after 30 days of the conclusion of the meeting. After such period of the conference may decide unless within said period of the Secretariat receive the notification member countries to the contrary. In this case, the full member being absent with the meeting of the conference resolution conference shall become effective unless Secretary receive the notification of the contrary from the side of the member at least 10 days before the day of the fixed publication of the resolutions. D. A non-member country may be invited to attend the conference if the observer of the conference is also so decided. Article 12 of the conference shall have to hold 2 ordinary meetings a year. However, the extraordinary meeting of the conference may be convened at the request of the member country by the Secretary General after the consultation with the President and approved with a simple majority of the member country with the absence of the unanimity among the member of the countries approved of the convening of such meeting as to the date and revenue of the meeting that they should be fixed with the Secretary General in consultation with the President. Article 13, conference shall normally be held with the headquarters of the organization met by any of the member countries or elsewhere it may be advisable. Article 14, when the conference shall elect the president, alternate president as its first preliminary remaining alternate president shall be the extra for the responsibility of the president during his absence and when he is unable to carry out his responsibility. B. The president shall hold the alpha variation meeting of the conference shall retain the title until the next meeting. And C. The Secretary General shall be the Secretary of the conference. Article 15. The conference shall formulate the general policy of the organization, determine the appropriate way of the means of the implementation. 2. The decide upon application membership of the organization. 3. Confirm appointments of the board of the governors. 4. The direct of the governors to submit the reports of the recommendation of any matter for the interest of the organization. 5. Consider the decide upon reports and recommendations submitted by the board of the governors of the affair of the organization. C. Consider and decide with the budget of affairs as submitted with the board of governors. 7. Consider the decide upon the state of the accountants. Auditors report submitted by the board of governors. 9. Call the consultative meeting for such member countries for the purpose within such places as conference deems fit. 9. Approve the amendments of the statute. 10. Appoint chairman of board of governors and an alternate chairman. 11. Appoint the secretary general. 12. Appoint auditor of the organization for the duration of 1 year. Article 16. All matters that are not expressly assigned to their organs of the organization shall follow with the commentary of the conference. 2. The Board of Governors. Article 17. A. The Board of Governors shall composed of the governors nominated by the member of the countries confirmed by the conference. B. Each member of the organization represented all of the meeting of the Board of the Governors. However, the quorum of the 2/3 shall be necessary for the holding a meeting. C. When for any reason the governor prevented from attending the meeting of the governor, substitute for the ad hoc governor shall be nominated with the corresponding with a member of the country. So, for the nomination shall not require confirmation by conference at the meeting to which attends, then the ad hoc governor shall have the same status for the other governors, except with regards to the qualification chairmanship of the Board of Governors. D. Each governor shall have one vote, a simple majority vote, but attending of the governor shall require the decision of the Board of Governors. Either the term of the office of the governor shall be 2 years. Article 18. The Board of Governors shall meet not less than twice each year of a suitable interval to determine the chairman of the board after consultation with the Secretary General. B. The extraordinary meeting of the Board of Governors may be convened at the request of the Chairman of the Board and Secretary General or 2/3 of the Governors. Article 19. The meeting of the Board of Governors shall normally be held at the headquarters of the organization, but it may also be held in any of the member countries elsewhere that may be advisable. Article 20. Board of Governors shall 1. Direct the management affairs of the organization and the implementation decision of the conference. 2. Consider the decide upon any reports submitted by the Secretary General. 3. Submit the reports, make recommendations, conference without any favor of the organization. 4. Draw the budget organization for each calendar year submitted to the conference for approval. 5. Nomination auditor of the organization duration 1 year. 6. Consider the statement account for the other reports submitted them to the conference for the approval. 7. Approve of the appointment of the director of the division's head of the department with the nomination member of the country due to the consideration being given the recommendation of Secretary General. 8. Convey extraordinary meeting of the conference. And 9. Prepare agenda for the conference. 21. The chairman of the board, governor for the alternate chairman, who assumes all of the responsibility to be the chairman. Whenever the chairman is absent, unable to exercise the responsibility, should be appointed by the conference from among the governors for a period of 1 year in accordance with the principle of alphabetical rotation. Date of the membership of the organization, however, shall take the precedence over the principle of the alphabetical rotation. Article 22. Chairman of the Board of Governors shall 1. Preside over the meeting of the Board of Governors. 2. With the headquarters organization preparation each meeting with the Board of the Governors. 3. Represent the Board of Governors conference consultation meetings. Article 23. Should a majority of the 2/3 of the governors decide that the continuance of the membership of any of the governor detrimental to the interest of the organization, the chairman of the board of governors shall immediately communicate with the decision member of the country affected, who turn shall nominate the substitute of the said governor before the next meeting of the board of the governors nomination. Such substitute of the governor shall subject to the confirmation by the following conference. Article 24. Should a governor for any reason preclude with the continuous performance of the function of the board of governors corresponding with a member of the country shall nominate with the and the nominated governor shall assume the functions upon the nomination subject to the confirmation following conference. Article 3. Secretariat. Article 25. Secretariat shall carry out the executive functions of the organization according to the provision of the statute under the direction of the Board of Governors. Article 26. The Secretary organization consists of the Secretary General. Such staff may be required in the functions of the headquarters of the organization. Article 27. The Secretary General shall have a legally authorized representative of the organization. 2. Secretary General shall be the chief of the office or secretary with the capacity shall have the authority to direct affairs of the organization according to the direction of the Board of Governors. Article 28. The conference shall appoint a Secretary General for the period of 3 years. The term in the office of the may be renewed once of the same period of time. The appointment shall take place on the nomination member of the countries after the comparative study of nominees' qualification, minimum personal requirement of the position. Secretary General shall be as follows: 35 years of age, a degree with a recognized university, law, economic science, engineering, business administration. C. 15 years experience with at least 10 years shall have been spent in the position directly related to the oil industry. 5 years with a highly reasonable executive managerial position experience for the government company relations with the international aspect of the oil industry is desirable. Should indicate for the anonymous should not be obtained with the Secretary General. In that case, shall be appointed on the rotational basis for the terms of the 2 year without prejudice to the required qualifications. B. The Secretary General shall be a national of one of the members of the country of the organization. Secretary General shall reside with the headquarters of the organization. D. The Secretary General shall be responsible for the board of the governors. All activities of the Secretariat function for the different departments shall be carried out on his behalf under his authority and directions. E. The Secretary General shall be attended with the meeting of the board of the governors. Should the Secretary General be unable to attend the meeting with the governor's officer for the charge of the Secretary shall attend such meeting representing the Secretary General. Article 29. The Secretary Secretary General shall organize administrative work of the organization. 2. Ensure that the function of the duties assigned with the different departments of the Secretary are carried out. 3. Prepare reports submission each meeting of the Board of the Governors concerning the matters which call for the consideration decision. 4. Inform Chairman and other members of the Board of Governors all activities of the Secretariat of all the studies undertaken in progress with the implementation resolutions in the conference. And 5. Ensure the due performance of the duties which may be assigned to the Secretariat by conference or by the Board of Governors. Article 30. The Director of the Division, head of the department shall be appointed by the Secretary General approved by the Board of Governors. B. The officer of the Secretary upon nomination by the respective government by direct recruitment shall be appointed by the Secretary General in accordance with the staff regulation. Making such appointments for the Secretary General shall give the due consideration as far as possible to an equitable nationality distribution among members, but such consideration shall not be allowed to impair the efficiency of the Secretariat. Article 31. Staff of the Secretary of the international employees with exclusion of the international character of the performance of the duties. He shall neither seek nor accept the instruction from any government or from any other authority outside of the organization, unless shall refrain from the action that might reflect on their position as international employees. They shall undertake and to carry out the duties with the sole object bearing the interests of the organization in mind. Article 32. The Secretary General shall be assisted to discharge the duty of the division, research of the division, support services of its own office and division and department conference may see fit to create. B. Notwithstanding the provision of Article 33, wherever the efficient function of the division and departments of the Secretary itself requires, the Board of Governors may, upon the recommendation of the Secretary General, authorize the Secretariat Secretary General to transfer functions on units of the one division department to another. Article 33. The Division of Research shall be responsible for 1. Conducting continuous program, researching following with the needs of the organization, placing particular emphasis on the energy-related matters. 2. Monitor forecasting analysis developments into the energy, petrochemical industry within the evaluation of the hydrocarbon product of the non-urgency energy use. Analyzing economic financial issues with the significant interest in particular with those related with the international financial monetary matters of the international petroleum industry. 4. Maintain expanding data to support the research activity Secretary of those members of the countries. And 5. Contribute to the coordination of OPEC member countries in international negotiations. B. The Division of Support Services shall 1. Be responsible for the organization method, the provisions, the administrative service of the meetings, personal matters, budgets, accounting, international control, study and review. 2. Study and review general administrative policies, industrial relation methods used in the oil industry member and other countries that divide with the member countries any possible improvements. 3. Keep abreast of the current administrative policy and or policy changing current for the international petroleum industry which might affect the organization or be the interest of it. Be responsible for presenting OPEC object for the decision and action that be true with the more desirable perspective of the responsible for disseminating news of the general interest regarding the organization member of the countries of the energy related matters. And 6. Be responsible for carrying out central information program aids, identifying suitable areas of promotion of organization aims and image. Article 34. Secretary General shall commission from the consultant with the necessary to provide the special measures or to conduct with the expert study so when such work cannot be undertaken by the Secretary, the Secretary General may engage the specialist expert with regards to the nationality of the organization needs for a period of approval by the Board of Governors, provided there is a provision such appointment of the budget. See Secretary General made at any time with the main with working parties to carry out any study specifically subject for the interests of the members of the country. Chapter 4. Consultative meetings and specialized organs. Article 35 of the consultative meeting shall be composed of the head of the delegation, members of the country of their representative. In the case of the conference not in session for the consultative meetings may convey at any time on the request of the president of the conference. See the agenda that each of the consultative meetings should be prepared by the president of the conference unless it has been previously specified by the conference itself. The consultative meeting may pass decisions and recommendations to be approved at the next conference unless otherwise authorized by previous conference. Article 36. Conference may establish special the organs as circumstances required in order to assist the resolve of a certain problem of particular import. The specialized organ shall function in accordance with the resolution statutes prepared to the effect that B. The specialized organ shall operate with the general framework with the secretary of the organizational functionality and financially. C. The specialized organ shall act at the times in accordance with the principle of the organization set out with the resolutions of the conference. Chapter 5, Financial Provisions. Article 37A, the budget of the organization will be drawn each for the calendar year. B, the conference accepting the associated members to the organization will ask to pay a fixed annual subscription for the consideration of the financial contribution to the organization. C, budget operations shall be appointed with an equal basis among the member country after taking into consideration annual subscription of the associated members. Article 38A, each member country shall bear the expense incurred by sending a delegation of the representative of the conference to consult with the meeting of the working parties. B, the organization shall bear traveling expense for the remuneration of the governors who attended the meeting of the board of the government. Article 6, additional provisions. Article 39. Amendment that the statute may be proposed by the member of the country. Such proposed amendment shall be considered by the board of the government, which author decides shall recommend with adoption of the conference. Article 40. All resolution contrary to the content of the statute shall be abrogated. Article 41. The statute shall be applied from May 1st, 1965. Amendments to the statute and those are the statutes of the Organization of Petroleum Export Country, or OPEC, 2021.